Okay, welcome back to another complete website builder tutorial using some advanced techniques with the Mobirise drag and drop platform to be able to build you or your small organization or your small business a beautiful website it's really easy to maintain. So in this video, what we're going to cover is kind of a newsletter style page. So this would be applicable if you wanted to create a small blog, but also if you wanted to create something that looked a little bit more like a newspaper, or a newsletter than a website. This was actually something requested from one of our users, one of our subscribers on the YouTube channel. So if you do have any suggestions or questions, or you'd like to see something specific, feel free to comment or leave a comment or suggestion in the discussion tab of the channel. Alright, so let's get into this. So most newsletters, they have a top header, and then they also have a column, like a sidebar type situation, and then they have the main article content. In ours, we're going to do the sidebar on the left and the content on the right, just like you would see maybe in a blog or like an older style of website. We're also going to put a newsletter sign up form, and we're also going to put a footer. So a lot of these elements can be achieved very quickly using just Mobirise blocks. So we'll start first with the header, and then after that we need somewhere to put our article content, and I'm actually going to use this widget here since it's already columned and I can manipulate those columns pretty easily. That's what I'm looking at, so I'm going to put that here. And then after that, we want the newsletter sign up. And after that, we'll put this footer in here that has the contact form already. So this is going to be our page. Let's just shape up some of these things that I don't really want. You can change the image here to be whatever you would want it to be. Let's choose how about this? That's small. Suppose anything would really go well up in here. That. Okay. And then this would look better on the left side. Let's just have one button. Okay. So we kind of have our header going here. I don't want it to be parallax. You could make it parallax if you want, which would be a nice, kind of a nice little look. We don't need to do anything down here. You could make modifications to those if you wanted to, but I want to focus mainly on this center block. Now right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. In our layout, we really only want 2 columns. We want one column is going to be the sidebar, and one column is going to be the article. We also don't need these titles, so we're just going to deal with the text. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the code. So I have the code editor. I'm going to unlock this code, and we can see in here that this is the left column and this is the right column. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Bootstrap's classes. We're not going to go in and like totally rewrite this section. We're just going to kind of flow with what's already going on here. You can see here that in this div, extra small sizes, it's going to be 12 columns, which is full width. That's all the way across. But when you get to a tablet size, which is small in Bootstrap, then it's going to be 6. So it's going to be 1/2, and then this other one is the same thing. Extra small 12 across, small 6. So from a tablet screen size up to whatever size is at the very top end, this is going to be half of this width. So what we want is we want more of like a 1/3 or 1/4, 2/4. I mean 3/4. So we want the column on the left. We actually want to take about 1/3 of the space, and we want the one on the right to take about 2/3 of the space. So the way we do that is that we make this 4, and then you can actually make this one 8. So this is about 4 is 1/3 of 12, and 8 is 2/3 of 12, right? So whenever we save it, we can see that we get the layout that we want. And then this is 2/3 and this is 1/3. So this is a nice kind of a blog style sidebar layout that you would see. This has been a pattern on the web for a very long time. If you want to know more about the grid system in Bootstrap, you can go to getbootstrap.com/CSS, and then that will get you here to this page. And then you can just click on the grid system, and this tells you all about the grid system and how it works and the different sizes. You can see here extra small devices are under 768 pixels, and then what small devices and medium and large devices are, and what the container widths are. You can learn a lot through this, and then what prefix you should use for each one. Okay, so we're gonna stick with something pretty basic, and so we're just gonna go with this 1/3, 2/3 layout. I need some text, so I'm gonna go to Lorem Ipsum Creator and grab a couple of paragraphs of text. Actually, just one paragraph should be fine. And I'll bring that back, and right now everything is still editable, so we're going to do that. Then you can see that I can go through here and still edit the text, right? I could change the style if I wanted to, whatever I wanted to do. Okay. And you can add some headings or do some other things with this text if you wanted to. I'm also going to add something like this with maybe some links. So so you might see this in a newsletter. You'd have some little blurbs over here, and then you would have a few links to more articles or different sections of the you know, there's content inside here on page 4 or whatever. On the web, we can do some other things. We don't have to make it so that it's that it's going to a certain page. We can just link essentially to anywhere that we want to. So the way we do that is we highlight it, and you can click the link, and then I'm just going to use a page anchor to the top, so I'll just do that a few times. If I wanted to put an actual link in there to an actual page, I could do that here. I could choose any number of pages, or I can choose a place inside this particular page. That's what a page anchor is. Okay, so we have that. So it's shaping up nicely. Let's go into the code editor and just do one more thing to this sidebar over here. The sidebar section is this section right here, and this outside container is the outside, or this div here is the outside container for this entire text section. So there's already a little bit of style here. Let's go ahead and put in background color, and we'll make it something something that we can see, but that's not too not too over the top. Okay, so it's a nice little colored sidebar. You've seen that before. And then we can give it some padding. So it already has padding on the bottom. It's fine. It's a little too much padding for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 20 pixels on the top and bottom, and I'm going to, well, actually we'll just do 20 pixels all the way around. See how that does. Okay. That gives us some good padding. Gets everything away from the edges. You can see there's 20 pixels on each side. And you can play with that style a little bit more and add some different things there. But let's focus on the article section now. All right, let's get some more text. And do a few paragraphs here. Just going to copy that in. So now we have a nice little article. And we also would like to have a byline. So, and then that might be nice, and just put a, you know, you could do something like this. We would need to separate this out. I could show you how to do that, so let's do that. If you want to just put a headline in there, then you need to come down. This is where the headline is. And we actually need to make we would need to separate this headline out here. Let's put it there. And then we're going to wrap this in, let's say, an H3 tag. And we'll give it this class here so that we can edit that content. Anytime you add the MBR editable content to a headline class or to a P class, that allows you to still edit the content when you click on it out here. So it's a nice feature to have. Skip this, and then give it a bigger size. Okay. So this might be nice. This might be okay for the purposes that you have. What I want though is I want to add a photograph up here as well. So we want our photograph to come full width across and take up this entire top section above the headline. So we go back down to where we just put our headline, which is right here. And then we're going to add an image. Now I like to use placeholder images when I don't have regular images, but I don't like to just use gray boxes. I like to use actual images. And this little website is really great because Unsplash is a really nice place for royalty free to use on any project images. You can even use these on commercial projects, I believe. So it's called unsplash.it. So unsplash it, and it's HTTPS, so you have to remember sure that that's correct. And when you click on the images, you can actually view the images. So you can see that it's just high quality stock photography that you can use. And I want to use this one. I believe this is my beloved city of Chicago. So you can get a better look at the photograph. You can download it or use it. So this is Chicago. This is my city. And I really like that photograph, and so I'm going to use that. So it's number 1067. And I'll show you how to use the specific numbers. So let's go in here. And instead of having a link to an image that's in my file folder structure, you can also create links to images that are out on the web or at a specific server location. So unsplash it, and then slash. We're going to do 800 pixels wide by 600 pixels tall. And then to get a specific image, we do a question mark, image equals 1067. So now we're pulling the specific image. If we had just done this and left it, then it would just kind of pull an image, whatever image, at 800 by 600 pixels tall. So let's save that. And now we have our image in there. That's nice. Maybe it's even a little bit too tall. Let's do 800 by 500. Let's see. I might crop it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, a little bit better. So now we have our newsletter set up with our sidebar here. We have our article set up with a headline, and we have our name. You could kind of massage these things a little bit so that they look better. You can go through and make this specifically editable so that it's a little bit different, or you could make it maybe italicize it, something like that, just to draw it away to a different, so that it's a little bit different. And then down here you would have your subscribe. You could change all of these things because they're editable, and you could change this stuff. So hopefully that helps you. You can see that it feels a little bit more like a blog. A blog is essentially a 21st century newsletter. So if you wanted to spin this off into multiple pages and use the same sidebar and just create different articles, then you would just come in here to your pages, and then you would simply clone the page, and now all you have to do is go through and change this image here and change this text here, and then you have kind of a functioning blog. And if you then create the links here, or you create some sort of link system up here at the top to your articles, then you have kind of a manually functioning blog. You probably don't want to do that with too many articles, because then that means you're going to have to change links on every page and that kind of stuff. So it might help to create one page with all the links on it, and then some of these things over here are not links to the articles, they're links to that one page, and then you only have to keep up the links on one page as opposed to keeping the links on every single page. So that's one idea. I hope that helps one of the subscribers who asked for that sort of thing. And playing around with the Bootstrap grid system, you can achieve all kinds of different layouts. So I encourage you to go to getbootstrap.com and then kind of play around with the different things with Bootstrap. Right now, what's going to happen in our layout is that when we get down to this, we get down to a mobile size, you can see that our sidebar is going to come first because it's been coming first in each of the when we're in this layout in our HTML, it actually comes first. Now let me show you a quick little trick with Bootstrap to reorder, and I'll show you what it does. You can actually reorder, see, column ordering. You can reorder them so that you can see that this one, column middle 9, middle push 3, that's this one. It actually comes first in the HTML, and it should be over here. But what happens is when you add this push class, it pushes it over here on a big size, and then this second one, which should be here, gets pulled this way. So there's a push and there's a pull, and what it does is it essentially flips the two around. But if you look at them here, let's see. If you look at them here, they're right? So the pull 9 is push 3 is first, pull 9 is second, so that's how they should be. See if it's going to work. Okay, so middle 9, push 3. Middle 9, push 3 is on top. Middle 3, pull 9 is on the bottom. Okay, so that's how they should be, but as you go up, see, where's the break point? Okay, here's the break point. So now you have middle 9, which is the top one, push 3. That's over to the right. If this were just going strictly by the HTML, this should be over here and this should be over here. But we've actually reordered the columns so that they're showing in a specific order. So we can do that pretty easily with our own site, so that when we go to a tablet is fine, but at a small size, we want the article first. We don't want the sidebar first. So what we do is we go into our code, and we need to add the classes here at the kind of the top level sections for these containers. So this one is column small 4, and the way I remember it is to do the opposite. So at column medium, we do, this column is on the left, so we want to push it to the right by however many columns the other one is. So it'll be the opposite. So this is 4 and 8. So this for the push is going to be 8 and 4. So that's how I try to remember it, is that it's just the opposite. So you would think, oh, well, maybe this one should be column medium pull 8, but it's not. It's pull 4. So takes some getting used to. All right. So the one, this is the article on the right. So we want to pull across the page 4, and this one represents this column here, and we want it to push to the right across the page. So let's check that out. Actually, I did that wrong, didn't I? Okay, but you can see how it switched. So on a large screen or a medium screen and above, it would push it to the right. Then on a small screen, it's not pushed. You see how that works? So we actually want the opposite of that to happen. So that was my fault. And what we want, I messed up on the sizes. That's what I want. So on the extra small, that's what we want. And just for the sake of keeping things tidy, let's put that first. So on the extra small screen, that's the phone screen, we want it to push over 8. And then for this one, we want it to pull 4 on the extra small screen. So let's try that out. So I'm getting a different behavior than I expect. Well, okay, push and pull. This is why I didn't want to get into this, because I wasn't completely sure. Middle 3, or medium 3, medium pull 9, and then medium 9, medium push 3. Okay. So, we would need to think backwards, I guess. Let's think backwards. We're into this problem, let's solve it. So at extra small, we want This will work best if we make this section second. If we actually make the section second, this is actually going to work better. So I'm just moving the whole thing down. That's probably broken everything, huh? And we'll take off this column extra small 12. Okay. Alright. So this is normally what we would have, but we want these to be flipped. Now this is going to be perfect for what we need. You can see that it's perfect because we made our article first in the HTML. So always Bootstrap is built from mobile version up. So you got to kind of think backwards a little bit. You can't always design in desktop view for Bootstrap or Foundation or some of these other their CSS or JavaScript frameworks, because they're thinking from a small screen, and then all the changes that you make happen when you go to bigger screens. So I had to kind of think backwards on that a little bit. So we have our HTML for this article first, and then we have our HTML for the sidebar second. Now, when we go up, you can see that our HTML is still following the same pattern. Our article is first, sidebar is second, and the same thing at a desktop view. What we want to do is once we get to this tablet view, we want this to flip over to the left, or once we get to the desktop view, this to flip over to the left. So the way that we do that is like I showed you before. So here, instead of column small 8 is right, but we also have to do column small push 4, because it's going to be the opposite, right? And we want to push this to the right. And then this one is going to be column medium, no, column small. And we want to pull 8. Okay, let's see if this works. There we go. Okay. So now it's pushed this side, which was first in the HTML, it's pushed it to the right 4 columns, because it's 4 columns here, so we want to get it out of that space over here. And then this, which was in the HTML, should be over here, was pulled across the page. So now you have this nice inversion, and when you go to mobile, the article comes first, but then when as soon as you go to tablet, then the sidebar comes first, and you get a more traditional, like sidebar to the left kind of feel. So using that particular push-pull class, offsetting columns in Bootstrap, you can get this nice little, some nice control over how the grid is displayed at different sizes. So I hope that's not too much information. I hope it's helpful to you. Thank you for listening to all the videos, and I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe, then you'll be able to get emails to your inbox whenever I publish a new video. And also make sure that you comment if you have any questions or comments about this particular video. Leave it in the comments section. You can also send me a tweet on Twitter. My handle is Brian, B-R-I-A-N, and my last name Haferkamp, H-A-F-E-R-K-A-M-P. So at Brian Haferkamp. And you could also email me directly if you wanted to. It's Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at highwaywebconsulting.com. And thanks again for watching the videos. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.